Greetings, RC Model Geeks, and here we are in the shed yet again for part 13 of the DB Sport and Scale Pup electric build. So I've been in the shed for an hour today, and this is what I've accomplished. That's the main sort of framing of one of the wings. That's one of four. So yes, it's coming together quite nicely. I've basically just super glued it all together. I haven't glued in the top spars yet, so it's just the bottom spars and the leading edge and the trailing edge. So once that's gone off, I will glue the top spars in and then put some weight on it to keep it all straight as it dries off, which is only going to take like 5 minutes because it's super glue. So yeah, so that's come along quite nicely, I have to say. I've got the holes in there for the servo wire. So the servo is going to sit in that bay there, and it's those flat wing servos that's going in there. So hopefully today I will finish one complete wing, if we're lucky. Yeah. I've been contemplating this covering lark. Thanks for all the messages there. Yeah, I would say I'm in two minds whether to go with the tissue and dope or not. But that would be lying, because you know what? I just went and bought some Soptwith this morning. Yeah, I just can't risk doing it and then, you know, finding out that you know, it's going to get damaged left, right and centre all the time, especially where we fly at the moment. It's too much of a risk, and it's going to be a pain in the arse to have to redo it again, you know, if it turns out that way. So I think I'm going to experiment with the tissue and dope on something else, something that's a bit simpler, and won't matter so much if it cocks up. So anyway, I've ordered 2 meters of linen coloured Soptwith and 2 meters of olive drab. So hopefully that will turn up fairly soon. You know, on the plus side, Soptwith is, you know, really strong. On the downside, it's a bit heavy. And then I was trying to keep this plane fairly light. Yeah, but you know, I think it's the only way to go for the moment, with my lack of experience with tissue and dope. Yeah. So I might, you know what? I quite fancy building a control line plane. So maybe I'll find a cheap control line and then tissue and dope that. That could be an idea. We will see. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to carry on with this wing and get a bit more done to it, and hopefully we'll have a pretty much finished wing by the end of the day. So back with you in a minute. Okay, I've got the false ribs just slotted in there. So now I've got to glue them all. So I'll be back once they're glued. Right, that is all the false ribs glued in, along with this mounting point here for the struts. So yeah, I mean that's basically. Oh, I've missed out the other one here. There's another one that's got to go in there. Mounting point for the strut. But once that's glued in, that is the basic framework pretty much done on one wing. I've made the wingtip, but I haven't glued it on yet. That'll go in later. So yeah, it's on to the second half of this wing now. Right, second wing panel framed out and glued. So there we go, one wing pretty much done, and not looking too bad if I say so myself. It certainly paid off filing all the slots and stuff and everything else in the beginning, because the whole thing just slotted together and pretty much fitted perfectly. Strangely enough, the only things that didn't fit were these blocks, which are the mounting points for the cabanes. They were laser cut and they're actually too short, so I had to slightly pad them out at each end with a sliver of a balsa in there, and on this one as well, yeah, and that one, they all needed a sliver of balsa just to pad them out slightly. But yes, that is looking pretty good. Quite happy with that. So I'm going to let that dry off for the night, and then tomorrow, hopefully, you never know, Bix the Phil might be over, and if that's the case, he can do his painting by numbers job on all the joints with the wood glue. And then that wing will be pretty much finished. Once it's all glued up properly and stuff, the only thing you've really got to do is cut some slots in here and here and here and here to mount the wing joiners that go into that centre section, and then you glue the whole lot together. And Bob's your uncle. We've got a little bit of an angle on these ribs here for the dihedral. I didn't measure it accurately. It's something stupid like 2.4 or something like that. But you know, eyeball's good enough for this. Yeah. So rock and roll. So like, comment and subscribe. If you want to email us, there it is. I haven't looked at my emails for a while, must do it. If I haven't replied to you, sorry, I'll get around to it sometime. And I'll see you all tomorrow for part 14, is it? Part 14. Now you never know, the old Solartex might turn up tomorrow. I really didn't want to go the Solartex route, like I said before, but I think it's the sensible option on this one. I'm certainly not going to use plastic film covering on a World War I biplane. So there you go. See you all tomorrow. Bye.